Hey everyone.
Hey guys.
How's your Friday going?
Hey.
It's a Friday, yes.
Yep, it's Friday, which is awesome. Ian and I went to the studio today because we were prepping for the 6-hour show.
Ooh. Yeah. And you know what else?
What?
I left my front door open again, Jay.
I did not. I didn't leave through your front door. Did not leave through your front door.
You still left the house with the front door open. We'll talk about this later. I have two cats.
Wait.
Two cats that are indoor cats.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
And Jay left my house once and left the front door open. And
you can't prove that.
So it's not just the door wasn't locked. It's like the door
was open. It was open.
Like the barn, right?
Not unlocked is fine.
You live in a barn.
Unlocked is fine. Open is not fine. But those cats did not escape, so you're no disaster. But
oh, thank goodness.
So I'm still at the tail end of COVID. This cough does not want to go away.
Yeah, it holds on.
Fifth week of post-COVID kind of
fourth, which sucks because I just right now, finishing at 5:00, I had my first of our book release interviews. So like the next 3 weeks is full of interviews.
Talk.
I really want to get rid of this freaking cough, you know.
Well,
have you considered alcohol?
No, I was doing lozenges and spray, whatever, but
it doesn't work.
I think
traveling potion salespeople usually have things for that.
I think I'm still having a little bit of post-nasal drip. I couldn't find the freaking Afrin. I was going to give myself a hit of Afrin before the interview. I couldn't find it. I got to get some. But it's the interview went well. It was with the Geek's Guide to the Galaxy.
What'd they ask you?
So this is a science fiction podcast. It's published by Wired magazine. And we talked a lot about science fiction, and then a lot about the book, The Skeptics Guide to the Future. Obviously, there's a lot of crisscross between those two things, but it was good. It was a really good discussion.
Did you talk about AQ6?
Yeah, we talked about AQ6 too. Yeah, he brought it up.
Cool.
So he was listening to the show. He got the book, so he actually read the book before the interview, which is nice.
Whoa! Oh, good.
Did you have any beefs with our predictions?
No.
Good.
That's right.
Bob.
You showed him, Bob.
I think we cover our bets pretty well.
Yeah.
When talking about the future, I don't think we don't make any ridiculous hard convictions. We were pretty careful.
Pretty measured.
Yeah. We were pretty skeptical. It's kind of the approach that we took to extrapolating what's likely to happen in the future.
Now, there was a article I saw recently. Someone did an analysis. I don't know if it was a couple years ago or more recently. Someone did an analysis of the futurists and what they were saying like 20 years ago, and how much of their analysis of what was going to happen in the next 20 years actually came true. And they were like abysmally low percentages, like Kurzweil
and 20 years
7%, and Michio Kaku got 3%.
Yeah,
they basically graded
did that well.
all down in the single digits, pretty much.
Ian, I emailed you a picture. Can you show it?
Yes. Let me
Email or
grab that real quick.
I emailed Ian a picture. I just want him to put it up there for everybody to see.
Okay. Stand by. Or don't. Or keep talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, predicting the future. I mean, geez, it's not easy. I mean, even if you have certain skills and certain abilities and certain disciplines and understandings of things that you can make decent, rational sort of predictions of the future, there's no guarantee of anything.
Well, predicting the future covers a lot of territory. So if you're talking broad brushstroke, like we could say, yeah, computers are going to get more powerful in the future. That's a pretty safe bet. And even getting more detailed, like, yeah, at some point we're going to develop an artificial general intelligence. That's a pretty safe bet too.
Mm-hmm.
The question more is like, when is that going to happen? And there you can give like a range of possibilities. And then it's like, what's the implications of it going to be? That's where you start to rapidly break down into chaos.
And trillion strands of directions you can go with it.
Well, does art count? Because...
All right.
What's that?
That's awesome.
Book cover?
Did an artificial intelligence make that, Steve?
That was made by an artificial intelligence. So I did it. I did it using the Midjourney, which is the same software that the guy recently used to win that art contest.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too deep in this because this is going to be a major topic I'm going to cover during our 6-hour live stream. This is just a teaser of it. Put it back up there, Ian. So this is what I thought I would do. I'm going to make a bunch of these. I've already made a bunch. This is like a endless pit of time suck, but it's a lot of fun. It's a very iterative process too. It's not like you do it, you're one and done. It's like this took me a while to get to something like this. But what do you think my prompt was? So the game I like to play is I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures, and you have to reverse engineer my prompt.
Oh, nice. I was going to ask you, how did you get this?
Definitely post-apocalyptic.
Are you saying, how did you find this? In other words,
what
made you...
So the way it works is you enter in a phrase, and then the AI makes a picture of the phrase that you put in. It's like if you say, show me a raccoon driving a car, it'll give you a raccoon driving a car.
Okay,
right?
so the AI is doing the work that you feed it. It's not coming up with its own idea.
Right. You feed it a prompt, and then it builds a series of images based on that. And then you could like pick one and iterate it and pick it and iterate it. And then you could make high resolution versions of it. And then you could redo that process where it swaps out details and blah, blah, blah. So the question is, what prompt did I start with to ultimately result in this picture?
Yeah, post-apocalyptic, maybe robotic.
In other words, like, what would the caption be in a sense for this picture? Like, show me, New Mexico in the year 2100, something.
Something like that. That might have been the prompt.
Right.
Although they use imagine. Imagine blank. So Jay's right that post-apocalyptic is in the prompt. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Robot is in the prompt.
Wasteland.
Wasteland is in the prompt. So the exact prompt was imagine a steampunk robot riding a horse in a post-apocalyptic wasteland at sunset. Right? That was my prompt.
That's a fail.
Yeah, that covers, that ticks all those boxes. Yeah.
I mean,
not really.
Horse is a little.
I'm not getting a huge steampunk vibe.
It interpreted the horse as being robotic too, right? It's not a robot riding a live horse. So that's the thing. If you have a particular vision, you may have to iterate your prompt multiple times when you see how it interprets what you put.
Right. How do you iterate it? What is it? What does that take?
Well, if you want to iterate your starting prompt, you have to just start a new thread. You have to just start fresh.
Right.
But if you want to just build off of what you already did, you
Word.
just choose the image and say, give me 4 more variations of that. And then you could either do like horizontal variations, or you could also vary it on how it upscales it to higher resolution, because it doesn't just go to higher resolution. It also adds details. So anyway, and this is kind of the style that you get from this particular application. But I want to compare different ones. I want to, I've applied to get to be like a beta user for Dolly, but I haven't heard back from them yet. But this one, you just sign up. You could get like some free. You could do like 10 or whatever just for nothing, but then after that you have to sign up.
Yeah,
But
I've tried to log in. I can't even log into the site.
Oh, it's easy. You just
It's easy.
Yeah, you just go to they use Discord.
So yeah, I tried that and it got into a loop with Discord where it wasn't logging me in. It says
I think it makes landscapes pretty nice.
Yeah.
So did it take pieces of this from other art?
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Wait,
well, not pieces. It takes inspiration
It's
from
not how it
inspiration,
works, though.
style. Yeah,
It takes style. Like
It
it
doesn't
doesn't.
mix and match. I mean,
It's not like a composite. Yeah.
I mean, it's creating this shit.
But at the same time, you're also seeing what other people are doing. Yeah,
Mhm.
Steve, how long do you have to wait?
Very
That's a good
fast.
question.
Yeah,
Very
it's very
fast.
quick.
Really?
But yeah, so it takes 30 seconds for each iteration that you ask it to do. It's pretty quick.
And who owns the image? You got a.
I
30
do.
seconds. That's interminable.
Oh, you do.
I could do whatever I want with it. There's one single limitation on the output, and that is if you are using it for a company that makes more than $1 million a year, you have to buy their corporate access. So unless you're working for $1 million company, you have unlimited use of the image that you create.
You got to
You
get
get,
one.
an NFT, you get an NFT with this thing?
Us creating it seems a little nebulous of a term.
Well, but yeah, with the AI. But I
Okay.
mean, so this is the discussion I want to get into on the live stream, because I wrote a blog about this. I've had a very interesting discussion. Some very hostile artists have lots of opinions about this,
Oh, sure.
and we'll do a deep dive on what exactly the creative process is and who's doing the creation and is it art and all that stuff. But I wanted to get as much experience as I could before we do that, and I also think it'll be fun to like try to again reverse engineer the prompt. Some will be easier. This was an easy one. Me obviously like post-apocalyptic robot. Is pretty obvious, but there are other ones that were not so obvious. What the prompt was.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We're entering a time where the boundaries of style and who owns what.
Yeah.
Who owns a voice? Who owns a likeness? Who owns anything? Anything audio or visual is going to be. It's just good. All those lines are going to get really blurry. Lots of lawsuits.
Potential.
Yeah, that's part of the discussion that we can get into, and I want to do a little bit more research too. I don't think there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. Or if there, I think the bottom line is like you can't own a style. Like, you can't copyright a style, and so as long as you're not duplicating an individual work, I don't know that there's going to be much legal wrangling going on. You know what I mean? But there may be more at the fringes of like, what if I want to opt my art out of your process, your AI learning algorithm,
right,
that kind of stuff.
I think we could see a lot of that.
Yeah. Right.
Good discussion. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. But I invite you guys to play. I mean, I bought an SGU account. It's like $30 a month, for unlimited images, so you guys can all play with it.
You'll send us the login. You'll send us the login.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely play with it before the show. Coming up in 8 days. Oh my goodness.
Ton of fun. It's a time sink too. Like you can see getting lost in that, because you just
sure
keep going and going. Yeah.
And some people who have who are narcissistic will actually think that they created the artwork by typing in a handful of words.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to shoot our wad now because that's a good discussion to have.
Okay.
What else is happening on the 6-hour live stream?
We have a couple of interviews lined up.
Do we have the second one lined up?
I'm confirming it.
Okay, so we have one lined up and one pending.
Open my beer here.
Semi-lined, dotted.
Which we should say we're going to have the everyday astronaut.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Who's going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff with us. We have a lot of different things we're going to talk about with him. And then I'm lining up an AI professional, someone that works in the field. And, we talk about AI a lot, and there's a lot to talk about when it comes to AI. So we'll definitely have a fun conversation about that. It'll be really cool to hear, like some cutting edge stuff. We're going to talk about the new book that we have coming out on September 27th. We'll pick some chapters. We'll answer some questions, that type of stuff. Just give you guys an overview of what this whole book is about.
Yeah. So it's going to be 2 episodes, right? We're going to do the first 3 hours will be the first SGU episode. The second 3 hours will be the second episode, and it will be organized that way. But obviously 3 hours is more time than we need to do one podcast. So we're going to have a lot of other stuff happening as well. And there will be a futurism theme, future technology kind of theme throughout the whole thing. And it'll be a lot of fun. But of course we could do, because it's a live video stream, some of the bits will be clearly not intended for the podcast, like reverse engineering pictures is obviously not going to go in the podcast. But
and here's the link, everybody.
The rest of the discussion can.
Here's a link for YouTube if you want to hit that notify button and the like and all that other fun stuff. Thank you to Adam Hepburn for the 50.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. That's really, really generous of you,
generous.
Man. We appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. Much love. Thank you.
So you guys might notice a general sense of fatigue on my face today.
Let's have a look.
I think Steve instantly knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
More than usual.
How'd you sleep last night?
My wife has been away on a gig for the last week. So I've been all alone. I've been all alone with the kids.
Jay does not rock the single parent scene very well.
It is unbelievably
tough.
hard when it comes from an energy level. Just from
it shows you care.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, my kids are more important to me than anything. And,
of course.
And my kids are also, they ask me a ton of questions, and they're constantly, they want things, and they want information, and they want me to engage with them.
Those bastards.
Which I'm fine with.
They want parenting all the time.
What the hell the internet's good for if you got to entertain them all the time? I mean,
So last night I'm in bed, and and my daughter, who is younger, is asleep in her bedroom. I got her all wrapped up. My son Dylan, who's 9 years old, he's in bed with me last night, and he starts to fall asleep. And I say to myself, this is awesome. Now that he's asleep, I'm going to very quietly watch an episode of something that we're going to be reviewing for Alpha Quadrant 6. And the next thing I remember, my alarm is going off this morning.
Yeah. Well, at least you slept through the night.
I passed out. I completely passed out. Like all ready to watch a TV show. I didn't get any time to myself. I didn't get a moment of like thinking about anything other than those kids. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I got like 6 or 7 hours worth of things that I got to watch just to prep for this show that we have coming up. Yeah. I'm like really in trouble.
Unfortunately, I woke up at 2:00 in the morning last night and couldn't get back to sleep.
Oh,
that doesn't happen often. I usually sleep through the night pretty well, but just one of those bad nights. So I'm going to fall asleep probably halfway through this live stream.
See, Steve, this is why having Xanax handy is so good. If that happened to me, I just get up, I would take a Xanax, and I would be asleep in 45 minutes.
Usually I can go back to sleep. I just I don't know what it was. Just my brain didn't want to turn off.
Could be COVID, man. COVID could have absolutely fucked up your sleep cycle.
I hate that. I do wake up and I start thinking about the day. It's like okay, I'm awake.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now I have to make these calls, do these things. It starts like it.
Or I'm writing a blog post.
My daily folder
literally in my head,
unpacks like in
or
the first 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, the
of me
second
being
you
awake.
start,
Thinking about
you
something
start
serious.
engaging with the coming day, you might as well just get up and
Pretty
get
much
out of
it.
bed. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta keep yourself in dreamland somehow. You gotta,
If you can. Yeah.
you know.
You guys see that comment? Was it Sam Etchell?
What did he say?
Bob is his usual level. Intense stare. Speaks up only when he's interested. Tons of coffee. I disagree. I don't stare intensely. The other stuff is true, but do I stare intensely?
Isn't that for other people?
Maniacally?
To decide? How would you ever know?
Maniacally, yes, but not intensely.
Resting
Yeah,
still
not
face.
some Stanley Kubrick kind of stare, right? You know, which
The 100-yard stare.
the disturbing, long stare shot for minutes at a time.
Yeah, Bob,
I watched Barry Lyndon the other day. There's so much of that going on in that movie. Oh my
It's a good movie.
gosh. That movie is about people staring at each other during the freaking movie.
And naked
remarkable.
breasts. Yeah, absolutely.
Remarkable. Yeah, I saw that too.
Remarkable. Yeah, Bob is always thinking about something. Bob doesn't zone out. There is no zoned out version of Bob. That's for damn sure.
I don't know.
So,
Wait, since we're talking about me, somebody asked about the clown. The clown. It's not
Did
a
they
mask.
really, or are you just making that up?
Happy the clown there?
It's not a mask.
Steve.
I think I showed it before. It's. I don't think this is from a movie. I've never seen this. This is an awesome head that I love. I hope it lives forever. The latex is doing very well.
If only it would come to life. You get to have a son.
Well, here's a few
Bob,
of my
Bob.
favorite. What?
You get on that AI art software and
Oh
you
my
start
God.
asking about, give me a crazy clown in a
No.
haunted forest.
Okay.
Forget it.
With whatever,
Forget it, Steve. We're never going to see
and
Bob again.
The style is perfect for
But
horror
not just that,
genre.
but also like
perfect for horror genre.
the AI and technology and robots. I'm just going to be bleary-eyed at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
with that. But let me show a couple things that I bought. Some of my favorite purchases. This is the best coffee stirrer ever.
Or the worst soup.
Wait a minute. It's going to go.
Yeah, that's the
That
worst.
doesn't stir anything. Like, too many
It's
holes in that thing.
It's a coffee stirrer. It's fine. It's fine and it's beautiful. And Jay, you saw this.
I think you
This
got
one.
had.
This is one of the things that when I saw it in the store, I immediately, there was literally no thinking. I picked it up and said, I am buying this. This is the cotton candy ray gun from Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yep.
They fired this at people. They got covered with cotton candy, and then you cut it with, like, it digests you or something, and then they drink from it, I think.
Well, yeah, it puts you in a cocoon or something, right? Like a spider web traps its prey or that kind
Do
of
they
thing.
eat you with that spoon, Bob? Is that what you do?
So I was walking around Dragon Con, and I didn't really do any costumes, really. And I had a Killer Clowns t-shirt on, and I had this in my hand. And so as somebody walked by, and she's like, oh, cool t-shirt. And I raised this up, and she's like, oh, my God, you've got the gun. You've got the gun. Where'd you get it? She was so excited. That just, like, made my day. But nobody else commented about it. But if one person did, that makes me happy. And the last thing, one of my favorite purchases is this guy right here. Somebody hit the nail on the head. It was Tim Bailey, 17. He said, Bob, the skeleton behind you needs a sword and a shield. Absolutely. This is absolutely the fighting skeleton from Sinbad. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is what he looked like.
That's right.
Just very creepy and evil and detailed. $34 at Home Depot.
It's
I can't believe it.
thin features in the shape of the eye sockets. Definitely is a giveaway.
$34. I bought 2 immediately, and I'm going to buy another one. This is too awesome.
Yeah, you need 4 or 5 at least. Did you guys hear that they are making a Blade Runner TV show?
Yes.
Really?
TV show. Yes.
Oh boy.
It'll be
Jason and the Argonauts.
The other TV shows are so good.
Of
Right?
course.
the time frame will be the second Blade Runner movie.
Oh my God, how did I make that mistake? And none of you corrected me. That's another mistake.
What'd you do?
That's
We're still-
Jason and the Argonauts, not Sinbad. What the hell was I talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
It makes me think you don't even listen to me,
I wasn't paying attention.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
Hey, Bob. Welcome.
which is fine because I don't want to converse with you either.
Steve, what was the name of that
I love you
AI
too.
art generator?
Poor Bob.
Uh,
Midjourney.
Midjourney, yeah.
Midjourney.com. Okay. So what are you boys doing this weekend? I actually made adult plans this weekend.
You did.
All right, Jay. 18
Guess
and
what-
over. Tell us
Evan,
what's
guess
going
what
on.
I'm
on the
doing?
live stream. Easy.
Well, I don't know if I want to guess, but you're going to you're going clubbing. You're going to a rave.
Oh,
How's
my
that?
God, there couldn't be something further away from what I want to do than going.
Oh no,
to a
you're going
club.
wine tasting in the country or something?
No, something near and dear to your heart. That's my hint for you.
Oh, you're not going to LARP, are you?
Kind of. I'm going to be gaming. I'll be gaming tomorrow.
Okay.
D&D.
Yeah, we're going to do something. Well, one game we're going to do
Vecna.
is we're going to play mobsters. We're going to be part of the mob, and then that's going to be one of the games, and then another. I don't know. We're going to probably play a couple of board games too. Throw it in there.
Awesome.
Then we're going to eat, which will be nice. I can't
Always
wait. I just can't wait to talk to adults and have that be the only things I hear.
That does sound awesome. If you were going to go to a LARP and you didn't invite me, we would be having words live right now.
I wouldn't go to a LARP without you, Ev.
That's damn right.
I'm going to the New York Renaissance Fair.
Ooh, yeah, Tuxedo, New York. That's
in a few
weeks
weeks.
too, right?
Ian already
Connecticut's
went
having
year,
Connecticut's having theirs as well.
Yeah,
Steve slid out, huh?
Yeah,
he's on a phone call.
Work call for sure. And I've lost 8 pounds.
Awesome.
Nice, Jay.
Where did you lose it?
Mostly from my back, I think.
Oh.
Because I don't see much. Yeah, it's funny. Like the first 10 pounds that I lose, I don't really notice it. It's all just like probably in between my organs. I don't know.
Wait, what do they call it in England?
It's visceral fat.
You better okay.
Well, 14 pounds is a stone in England.
A stone. Oh, okay. I thought it was a kilometer or
not quite a stone,
some stupid thing. Some metric thing.
So it sucks because I'm basically eating nothing. You know, I mean, like let's cut to the chase. You don't get to eat much.
Yeah, I know.
You want to lose weight.
Yeah, what harder to do as we get older.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
I mean,
sucks.
But I mean, it's, I am so happy that the weight is coming off because I fully expected it to be 3 times as hard to lose, and I am, which is great. It's still taking a long time, but got to do it. I try to do this like once a year just to bring myself back to my baseline, so I don't ever wake up one day and be 100 pounds overweight, which would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I just want my clothes to continue to fit.
Yeah, COVID. Did I tell you? I must have said this at some point because it was like one of the weirdest things that ever happened to me. I got to the point during COVID where I only fit into sweatpants.
Oh, you were heading that direction, huh?
Yeah, well, we had my niece and her boyfriend living with us during COVID for 2 years. Ashley and Cormac, they were here, and we were basically our days revolved around meals. It was like, what are we going to do for breakfast? What are we doing for lunch? What are we doing for dinner? Like it was like just consistent power eating, and over 2 years, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I know my exercise routines all went kaput during the COVID time as well. I'm slowly getting back to things.
But, we have I think I told you I got the airline tickets for Arizona.
Awesome.
I was on the phone with, you guys guess, how long was I on the phone with Expedia?
Until the call was over.
Don't ask me why I was talking to Expedia because I have a good reason why I used Expedia.
On the phone, 2 hours, 15 minutes. How's that, Jay?
Not bad. Bob, you want to make a guess?
5 minutes.
90 minutes.
3 hours.
What?
I was closer.
I had a 3-hour phone call with a person at Expedia. It took 3 hours.
To do what? Would you?
I'll explain it to you. Because so first off, I had credits. This was the thing I think that muddled up the whole thing. I had flying credits because I used Expedia before the pandemic. We bought tickets to go to DragonCon.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like going to be my last time that I used Expedia because I just, I'm not that thrilled with the service. So those flying credits have been active. Every year I call back and say, I want those credits to be extended, and somehow I convince them to give me credits, blah, blah, blah. So bottom line is I'm cashing in the credits.
Good.
And apparently that was like molasses to an already time-consuming process. You can't just go and say, I want to go to this place, and here's like, you know, I want to fly here, and here's the 3 flights that I'd pick from. Now go and book everybody. It doesn't work like that. Because you got to answer every question about every person every time. And I'm literally like using that spreadsheet that we have that has all of our flight information on it, you know, all that stuff, birthdays and frequent flyer numbers and all this stuff. But the big problem was we could only pick Delta flights. And by the time we went through the whole process of moving all the credits over to wherever, you know, I had to move the credits out of zone A and put it in zone B on their end, which was like weird. Then we had 3 different itineraries, and that was another thing that took so long. It wasn't like one previous itinerary, right? The old itineraries, for some reason, there was 3 of them because we had 3 different flights happening. Oh my God, 3 hours. Couldn't believe it.
Yikes. Yeah. I've had very long, you know, I'm an accountant. I get on the phone with the IRS. Good luck. You can spend a day easily on the phone, and basically, and also after that time, you don't get the satisfaction necessary resolution that you're hoping to do. It may just be part of a longer process, but absolutely, yeah, it can be. Yeah. It's mind. You don't want to pull your hair out.
It's terrible. I mean, luckily, I was sitting here at my computer, and the woman was putting me on hold. You know, so like I'd be on. She put me on hold for 10 minutes, then she'd come back and ask a question, and put me on hold again. She probably was helping other people while she was helping me. I couldn't imagine what else is going on over there, unless they're painting the office. I don't know.
But if you'd gone with Priceline, Bob could have called in a few favors from many years ago.
Remember that?
And made sure that it
was
went
awesome
through
back in the day.
Jay, did you give them your number, or did you take their number in case you got disconnected?
Oh yeah,
that's critical.
Yeah, they do that automatically, which is great.
Sometimes.
So, but I've had horrible customer service this week. I've had 2 problems with 2 different companies where you don't get to talk to somebody. You absolutely cannot talk to a human being. You just gotta go through their shitty, you know, ticketing system process. And this is where AI is going to shine like nobody's business. When we finally get artificial intelligence that can like troubleshoot real world problems and fix computer programming issues, like, you know, whatever. Or you talk to an AI and you tell it to book airline tickets, and then you can hang up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you just have your AI assistant just do it for you, right?
Yeah. Have them stay on the phone for 3 hours.
I want to get AI assistants that could go out onto the web and curate all the shit I'm interested in, all of it. And there's a lot of it, these that they could look for it. And that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to.
Now, Steve, what you need AI for is for AI to go through all your photographs you've taken in your life, in your entire library, and get those sorted into the multiple categories, you know, cross-reference, you know.
Yeah.
And that, therefore, you say, give me a picture of just Jay and George Robb. Boom. It would automatically sort all those pictures out.
That software does exist.
Yeah, somebody told me recently that Google can kind of do that.
Yeah, but you want the AI to be the one to go in and tag everything, right?
Oh, I don't want to tag anything.
Tagged.
I want it to add to the metadata of the photo all by itself.
Exactly, right, and that's what the AI would do. It would say, okay, here, give me an example. Here's George. Now I'm going to go through all your pictures, and I'm going to tag George in every one of your pictures. Can it do that? Do we have that software now?
I don't know.
I think.
What do you have, Steve? Steve, are you up to 50? Are you up to 50,000 pictures yet?
I have tens of thousands of pictures.
Tens of thousands.
It could certainly find George, but whether they have something that will tag it right now wouldn't surprise me, but maybe not. But finding George is trivial.
Well, you could just use Midjourney.
Mm-hmm.
Just generate new ones.
Yeah, George and at the beach. I don't know.
97% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, was that a work call?
Yeah.
Can you tell us all about it?
Yeah. Well, just don't use names. Just call them, you know, Joe Smith and Jane Doe.
Yeah, I'm on call, so you know we all take turns being the guy who gets called, you know, for stuff. So I'm just on for the weekend.
I am fascinated with the funny experiences that you're having at work that you can't tell me about.
Mm-hmm.
With funny people that are, kind of like Saul Rosenberg types. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
doctor, oh boy. You know what I mean? Like those, I would love to hear that.
Steve, that's an idea for a future book. When you are retired and out of the profession, you'll write a memoir about your things that you can now talk about that you weren't able to talk about back then.
Well, you can talk about it. It won't change. It just, if you're going to talk about cases, you have to depersonalize it as much as possible.
You just change the name.
Talk about it in the abstract.
What are you guys doing this weekend? Any plans?
I'm working at the haunt. I'm going to dig a grave in my graveyard. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because it's sandy. The graveyard is very sandy. So I'm going to have to dig a huge hole.
That's dangerous.
And then we're going to frame out like a box in the ground and then backfill it to make so that it's.
You got someone with a backhoe who can come in, take that scoop, do the work in 2 seconds for you.
And so that's going to be a ton of work, but I'm probably going to set up the top section, the top tier of the cemetery with all the tombstones and stuff.
Bob, you're digging the hole.
Digging the hole.
And you get down about 4 feet and you dig up a leather bag and you open it and there's gold pieces in that bag. What do you do?
Roll D6, Bob. Roll D6. That's what you do.
Wow, gold.
Roll 2d10.
Like you are convinced that it is like an old, very old,
Where'd you find it?
I'm just saying, like it's a question of what do you do? It's a what if question.
Where do you find it? That's where everything depends on where you find it.
It's where I find it's irrelevant because I'm not telling anybody that I found
it. That's right, Bob. Dummy up.
I'm going to wrap it in something that's.
There might be laws that are relevant to what you should do with that gold, depending on where you find it.
I actually think there are.
I think it's going in my car. I wrap it up in my car. I tell nobody.
Illegal.
I mean, there's only laws until you melt it down. You know what I mean? Then it's just gold. It's not gold coins. It's not ancient anymore. Gosh. It's just gold at that point, and then it's yours.
Ian, did you get another picture for me?
Let me check.
But Jay, you know what they do, Jay? There's precedent for that because people find like ancient gold coins. It happens, and other types of treasure, and they've got to make it worth your while to turn it into the government.
You get a finder's fee.
If they don't, and sometimes they will even give you the value of the item. Like if you find gold coins, the value it's worth at today's prices if you melted it down, because it doesn't help anybody if you really just did melt it down and sold it. Then you could lose. You lose the artistic value, the cultural value, the historical value. Yeah. So they want you. They will. A lot of some places, some countries will pay you decently to turn it in.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? Because it's only a positive for them to do so.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about because I think there is a spectrum of responses to finding something very valuable that you're sure doesn't really belong to anybody. You know what I mean? Or that you could hide from like because the landowner probably owns it. You'd have to turn it over to whoever owns the property.
I mean, you're supposed to do some due diligence to really figure out if there is any kind of trace of ownership or insurance claim or whatever. It depends on the object itself, right? I mean, you find a gold nugget, that's one thing, but if you find something that's been refined, printed, dealt with, somehow manipulated, that's a different set of responsibility, I think. But
I agree.
You should do your due diligence and always, it's like if you found, you just say it's a wallet, someone's wallet, as opposed to whatever, a piece of gold. That person's gonna want their wallet back. So you would want to, because you would want that to happen to you if it was yours and your loss,
of course.
Or your family's loss. You'd want it to go back.
I mean, I would return a wallet with all the money in it in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
of course.
No thought to it. A friend of mine, Brian Trent, who actually his book literally just came out this week.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Brian told me something that was very impactful, and he said he and his family, when he was a boy, they went to Disney World, and his dad did not have traveler checks. His dad had literally
wow, traveler's checks.
The equivalent of that day. We're probably 80s. Right? In the 80s at this point for him to be a young boy. And his dad had a pocket full of money that he just took out of the bank to go on the vacation, and he dropped it. He dropped it in Disney World.
Awful.
Mm-hmm.
And
horrible.
He said, my whole family, we just sat there, and we were convinced that the vacation was over. It was on day one. Somebody picked it up and turned it in to Lost and Found. The whole thing. There wasn't a dollar missing.
Wow.
And
there you go.
I hear that story and I think about the reaction that the family had to someone just doing the right thing and restoring, their hard-earned, vacation money. For most people, it's very hard-earned. And it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel like there's humanity out there,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that,
the humanity.
I read today that the leader of China met with Putin.
Xi Jinping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he basically told Putin that, first off, somehow it was made known that China is not giving them anything for the war.
Yeah.
Good.
And then he said
publicly,
Russia needs to act like a country that is, essentially operating on the global stage and has an impact on the rest of the world. And Russia,
like a bunch of thugs. Yeah.
Needs to behave accordingly and inject. What did he say? Inject
poison?
No, inject rational, peaceful, ideals into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that came from China. Because they I'm sure that politics have a lot to play here in what's happening. Because he's heading into his third term, and I don't know if the elections there are real or not. I can't even begin to comment, but still, I mean, it was great to see China, push back and say, essentially, what you're doing is wrong.
From a country who continuously does wrong things left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. yeah, it's optics. It gives the news something to say about them. I mean, who the hell really knows what the hell China is doing with Russia? The media will never know. We will never know, right? I mean, there's all kinds of shit that must go on behind the scenes that never gets spoken about in these terms.
Of course,
or they hold them up. But now I get what you're saying, Jay. It's nice. It is nice to hear. But at the same time, we got to
can't take anything at face value.
Yeah, really. I mean, I fully embrace and acknowledge the fact that we are hearing the skin of the apple of reality when it comes to what countries are doing and what's going on behind the scenes. We know nothing. We know nothing. I agree. But what China said is measurable. It is measurable because we would know if they were giving components to Russia. We would know.
That's the only thing that matters, really, is are they giving Russia
material assistance?
Yeah, weapons, ammunition, whatever. That's really, it's like you don't listen to what Xi says, you listen to what he does. Yeah. And that's the only thing that matters when it comes to right now in terms of his attitude towards Russia. Ian, did you get that picture?
Yeah.
All right, show it.
Pop that up.
When you can. There we go.
Oh boy!
Right, so I just made that while we were chatting.
All right, now first thing that hit me, Steve, is that it is a skeletal Robbie the Robot.
Yeah, I just put skeleton. So what I'm learning is that you get these very impressionistic kind of interpretations unless you really spell things out. Like you could tell it what style to use, how detailed to make it.
Did you tell it to make it black and white?
No. I just said,
what's going on with the legs?
Evil skeleton walking in Victorian London. That was my prompt.
Why is the skeleton twice as big as other people?
Well,
that's
it's
a kid,
evil.
I think.
Evil.
Oh, that's part of what makes it evil. It's nefarious.
Somebody said that's Tiny
Or
Tim.
evil,
Right?
by
Tiny Tim, yeah.
Of course.
It is.
God
Look at the
bless
leg.
us all. God bless you, giant evil skeleton.
Hello,
Mecha-
governor.
It's
Mecha
Christmas.
Tiny Tim.
What would Christmas coming and all?
But the head of that skeleton looks like Robbie the robot. You know.
I think
What's
it's
it?
because it's wearing a hat.
Yeah,
A
it has some
chapeau,
sort of
okay.
Yeah.
It's blending right in.
Yeah.
has a derby on. or
Derby.
something. The derby. I think I'll wear my derby.
Oh, okay. Somebody said, "Where are the freaking lasers?" And I totally want to do that from Dr. Evil. What did he say? He wants sharks with lasers on their head.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah,
lasers.
yeah.
Steve, can you do that right now?
Okay.
Sharks
Tell me
with sharks with freaking lasers on their heads.
Don't put freaking,
Why not?
because it won't know what to do with that word.
All right, sharks with lasers on their heads.
Too late.
Okay. Oh my God, this is fun. What if you said a person? Would it take an image of a famous person?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Oh, we've got a lot of fun to play with this during that live stream, Steve.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could have used it to craft a cover for our book.
Mhm.
And even if that's even legal at this point.
Sure, it's legal.
But I do
So
like
just
our
because
cover
you
better.
so you pay for the subscription and that
Yeah, Jay.
these images become yours.
In front of your face.
No, it
Blur it out.
blurs out.
It blurs it out. That's
The
so
AI
cool.
again. AI.
It knows that it's not a face.
Knows it's not your face or hands.
Well,
It's the background.
what the hell are you doing? We'll take it off the whatever.
The book is blurry.
Oh, because your
The book
background's
itself
blurry.
is blurry. Yes. Yeah, my background
itself
is
is
blurry.
blurry.
See? Let me see.
Oh, that's clever, guys. Then you sell the special Skeptics Guide to the Future glasses that you have to have
Correct.
to read the book. That is brilliant. It's like
Yeah.
3D. It's like 3D movies, you know. Oh my gosh. Brilliant, brilliant guys, brilliant. Well, you're marketing geniuses.
Steve, what are you doing this weekend?
Nothing. Why?
Nothing.
Are you free tomorrow?
I'm doing the show.
Well,
free every
after the
day.
show, if you're free, do you want to come over my house and game? Evan, you want to come?
I may. What time you starting?
I told everyone to come around 1. You know, we'll game and then we'll eat and then we'll game. Then maybe watch a movie and then eat.
Then will you game?
Yeah, I had plans to work, but tomorrow I was to meet with a client, but the client actually a few minutes before this show sent me a voicemail saying they're not feeling well. And so I think I'm going to use that as an excuse to bow out of going to see them.
Well,
So
if you are
my
free,
day opened up tomorrow.
let me know. Make up your mind and let me know so I can tell.
Check with the fam.
Yeah, do that and then let me know so I can tell the GM. You know, because he said specifically he
Roll me
wants to know
up.
how many people are going to be there.
Is it Shane? Is Shane GM?
Anybody in the chat want to go? Yeah,
Shane
chat
is
wants
a
to
great
come.
Oh yeah,
GM,
we
but
want.
it's
Yeah,
not
we're going to invite a couple hundred guests here. Let's see. Karen Meeker can come, and Keith Davies, and Zeno Faines, and
I'll text you the link.
Vargonia. I'm just reading names.
Jay's house.
Keith Davies always has an open invitation to game at my house because he built my gaming table.
Skeptibrarian is coming. Good.
I don't know what game we're going to play. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the genre is that we're mobsters. That's tomorrow's game.
Ooh.
Which I think I've never done that.
We played Cthulhu once in a mobster kind of genre. That was kind of neat.
I think we did. Yeah, I think
we did.
That. But I for my birthday, which was over a month ago, one of my dear friends, Larry, GM'd a advanced Dungeons and Dragons game.
Come on, you're talking like 1980 rules?
We used the rules.
Oh my gosh. Were they less confusing today than they were back then?
Well, I mean, look, with Pathfinder became very complicated. Right? That's essentially version 3 or 3.5. And then you get version 4, which everybody agreed completely sucked. Version 5, some people love it, some people don't like it. I don't like version 5. I feel like everybody is a superhero and there is no real, it's like I like it when you start off and you could die if the wrong thing happens.
Right.
You get one
Your
spell.
torch blows out and like,
you're swinging for 4 damage. You know what I mean? Like I want there to be a struggle and some type of progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are some of the most fun game experiences. A real challenge. You know, just blowing everything up in sight as you march along.
Yeah, to me, the later levels are not my favorite. I like the early levels. But it was great. I had a great time. It was, the game system did not get in the way at all. It was, I have it memorized. I mean, I did that. I played that game system for 20 years. Bob, sorry, am I boring you, Bob? What do you want to talk about?
A little bit.
You want to talk about Halloween?
We have a puzzle?
Yeah.
No, I did not have time for
no quiz, no puzzle.
I don't have a puzzle, but if you want, I can read to you last night's trivia, and you guys can try to answer.
Let's do it.
You want to do that?
Trivia.
Yes.
All right. I structure it in the form of Jeopardy, if you guys remember. And I have 4 categories, and they're 200 through 1,000. So it's the double Jeopardy round. There's no double Jeopardy category.
Okay.
So you just call out a category and a number, and I'll give you the answer. And
I'll take swords for 400.
Actually, swords is one of the categories. How did you know? Yes, it actually is, because the live board game we played last night was called Dragonwood. And there are swords in that. So that's why I made swords one of the categories. But the categories are dragon, wood, swords, and mad scramble. That's like hodgepodge. It could be anything. So those are your 4 categories.
You need
200 through 1,000 per category. So there's 20 questions in all. You guys can just throw out something and I'll read it to you. See who gets it.
All right, what were those categories again?
Categories are dragon, wood, swords, and mad scramble. Which can be anything, potpourri,
And
start with sword, because Steve got that.
For how much?
400. I said it.
So, yeah, of course, duh.
400.
All right. 4 parts of the sword are the blade, hilt, guard, and this.
Pommel. What is a pommel?
I'll let Steve have it. He corrected himself.
I'll take S words for.
Go for it, Steve. Next.
All right, I'll keep going with swords for. It's 2, 4, 6, 8.
2, 4, 6, 8 in the 1,000.
200. Swords for 200.
The one in the stone.
The sword in the stone.
Excalibur. What is Excalibur?
Okay, Steve, go.
600.
From the 15th to the 17th century, this sword was a popular choice for Scottish soldiers.
What is a claymore?
Got it, Steve. Go.
800.
The category, guys. Come on. 800. Let's see. Oh, did I not write down the... Oh, I had the answer open last night, but I don't have it. Hold on. I got to look it up. Wait a second. I write the answers down, but this is like for the one this is the one question I forgot to write the stupid answer down, and I have to look it up. Bear with me.
How tall were claymores? Were they like?
They were pretty big.
Yeah, like 6 feet.
6 feet. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of steel, man.
Heavy.
Where the hell is it?
They're 200. They're like for taking people off horses.
You also have to be probably a big strapping person to really use them correctly.
All right, here it is. Swords for 800. Sorry about the delay. Elongated, round-bodied, and lose all teeth and scales by adulthood. It's an animal.
What is a swordfish?
Very good.
Well,
you want Steve, swords for 1,000?
Yep, 1,000.
Shape of the blade had a zigzag shape resembling flame.
What is a Chris knife?
No.
Chris knife is correct, but that's okay.
Resembling what?
Well, that's not the answer to this question. That's not the question to this answer.
Say it again.
You didn't finish. You said resembling a what? Good.
The shape of the blade had a zigzag shape resembling flame.
Is this a specific blade or a type of blade?
Let me see.
Is it a swizzle shank?
It's a
Say it.
It's a sword. They're saying it is a medieval sword. Flamberge.
Flamberge.
Basically what Jay said.
Flamberg.
Yeah,
all right, Jay.
Shank.
Swords are done. So you got Dragon, Wood, and Mad Scramble. Go for it.
I'll take Wood for 200.
Worst director in Hollywood history.
Ed Wood. Who is Ed Wood?
Very good. Go for it, Jay.
I'll take Wood for 400, please.
Director of movies such as Hannah and Her Sisters and Midnight in Paris.
Who is Woody Allen?
Oh,
Yes,
damn, it was
Steve.
right
You got
there. I had it right on the tip of my tongue.
Go
right.
for it, Steve.
Wood for 600.
It's not wood. It's a grass, often mistaken as
What's
wood.
bamboo?
What is bamboo?
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob gets it. Control the board, Bob.
Yeah, I think 800 and 1,000 are left, Bob.
And Dragon and Mad Scrambler.
Dragon for 1,000.
Nice, Bob. A draconic bipedal reptilian Pokemon with light orange skin.
And what is Charizard?
Good guess, Ian. No.
It hurts me because I know this the second I hear it. I'm like,
Let's see if anyone's getting it. Let's see if anyone else is guessing it. I know we're going through this so fast. Charmander. No, not Charmander. Dragonite. Yes, Charles. Trular. Very good. Dragonite.
Got it. Wood for 800.
That's right, Bob. 3 types of wood. Generally speaking, 3 types of wood in construction: soft, hard, and this.
What is composite?
Composite or engineered wood. That's right, Steve.
Yeah.
Wood
Okay,
for 1,000.
Wood for 1,000. This famous actress died by drowning in 1981.
Who is Natalie Wood? Natalie Wood.
Yes, very good. All right.
I said it first. I said her last name. I said
you can't just say the last name, Bob.
You are supposed to phrase it.
Have you ever watched Jeopardy? Have you ever watched Jeopardy?
You could just.
So you're saying you're saying you buzzed in first and didn't have enough time to correct yourself by phrasing it as a question.
No, I didn't. I said who was Wood. Bam, baby.
Okay, but
whatever. I won that one. Just whatever.
Bob, take all right.
Bob,
Bob, go
over.
for it. Dragon and Mad Scramble.
Dragon for 200.
This dragon lived in a land called Hanali.
Who is
Puff the Magic Dragon?
Who said it first?
I did.
George. Damien.
All right, Steve.
Dragon for what was that? Was that 200?
Yeah.
Dragon for 400.
1972 Bruce Lee film.
Enter the Dragon.
Jay,
said what is Enter the Dragon?
Anybody,
Did anybody say what?
Jay, did you get it?
I had it in my head, but I could not make my mouth move fast enough.
I lost track of who the hell got it. Was it you, Steve? All right, Ian,
I said what is Enter the Dragon, but I think Bob. I'll give it to Bob.
All right, Bob, take it.
Bob.
I remember Steve, Jay, and I watched that movie on a plane going to New Zealand. I hadn't seen it in years. It was like an awesome experience. It was
fantastic.
So oh my god!
And
we'll have to make buzzers for this in the future. Yes,
yeah, that'd be great, Ed.
Whoever, yeah, I'll work on that.
If only
have Steve go downstairs and set up.
Only you knew 2 guys or 3 guys that happen to be here right now that created a game show. If only
we could integrate a buzzer into this game, that would be wonderful.
If only there was a buzzer.
We'll talk about that.
If only we knew someone who knew. Okay.
All right. So you got there's 2 more dragons left. 600, 800.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do 6.
Go ahead, Steve.
Bob, you got it.
Bob. We gave it to Bob.
600. Dragon for 600.
The last known Night Fury in existence.
Night Fury.
How to Train Your Dragon, maybe?
Yeah. No, where?
Name of the dragon?
What is Toothless?
Toothless. Good, Steve. Very
good job, Steve.
All right, you want
800.
the last? 800. And other people got it too. All right, 800. Dragons have 4 legs, but these only have 2 legs.
What are wyvern?
Yes. Oh, Bob, so close.
That's right there. Yeah.
Very good.
Don't even, Bob. You can't beat Steve.
All right, guys. Mad Scramble, Steve. How much you?
Mad Scramble for 200.
The 3rd digit in the number pi.
4.
Steve, go ahead. Mad Scramble.
Mad Scramble for 400.
The largest one of these is the Antonov AN-225.
What were those words?
Antonym?
Antonov.
I'm going to guess.
ANTONOV AN-225.
What is a tank?
No, that's a good guess, though. Some people are saying helicopter. A lot of people saying plane. Yes, it is plane.
Cool.
It's considered the largest airplane. Mad Scramble for 600. Ready, guys? Japanese breadcrumbs.
What is panko?
Yes, good,
panko,
Steve.
Yep.
That's Japanese?
That's Japanese?
Yeah.
Panko. All right.
Mad Scramble for 800.
800.
My name is this, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty in despair.
Zeus. Well, who is Zeus?
No, not Zeus. Actually, someone else guessed that the other night too.
You
need me to say it again?
No, I got it.
Pat Panko.
I know some people are going to get it. Yes, KM Burke from the Discord guy. Ozymandias. Yes, it is. Last one, guys. Thanks for playing. Mad Scramble for 1,000. This animal has the thickest fur of any animal.
What is a bear?
No.
It's a polar bear. No, I guess bear would have
not a bear. Not a polar bear.
What is a larger bear than Jay was thinking?
Fur.
Yeah.
What is a yak?
No, not the yak.
Largest fur?
Mike Bennett, you're close. He said beaver. It's not, but Sam Etchell is correct with otter. Sea otter. Has the thickest.
Oh yeah, they're pretty.
Fur of any animal. 900 million strands per sea. That's a lot.
Wow.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of hair.
That is where they get all their protection from it. So hey, that was fun. Thanks for playing, guys. I appreciate it.
And I think it also makes them more buoyant, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Makes them waterproof.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Ian, whenever you want to, you can throw that picture up.
Ooh, next picture.
You sent another one?
I did.
Okay, hold on. What the fuck? Okay. This is okay. Here we go. wait for this one, y'all.
All right.
Oh wait, I have to stop sharing. Hold
on.
Suitable
for work? Thank you, Dave Convoy.
Depends on how you look at it, I guess. Oh, here we go.
What is this? Velvet?
What is this?
Oh, here you go. Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
And lasers.
Well,
it says hammerhead, I think.
Oh, is that what I'm looking at?
I tried just shark, and the result was not acceptable. So then I tried hammerhead and get it a little bit better. This is one that would take a lot of iteration. I think you need to.
But why? It's
seed it
and laser. I mean, I don't know why. Why would that be hard?
Because the way the algorithm works, you get like an amalgamation of things. So this is an amalgamation of sharks. It's not a shark, right? So if you want a shark, you have to figure out a way to make the software do that. I need to get more proficient with it, I think, before.
But the ultimate version of this, though, is that the shark has like a laser strapped to the front of its body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on top of its head, like that type of thing. But
right,
I love it. This is cool. It is well constructed.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a impression of a shark with lasers, not you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
right.
anyway,
You showed this to someone and you said, "What is this?" I don't know that they would necessarily say
we're gonna
shark
play
with
that game.
lasers
But
on
I'm gonna try to get a lot better with the software. Plus, I didn't have time to do lots of iterations. So you could, like the guy who won the contest did 900 iterations of his phrases, before he found the one that he wanted.
Found the perfect way to express it. Oh,
it's not
interesting.
Yeah, it's not simple.
All right, let's take some questions.
All right.
Panko is Japanese.
Pat Planko.
That's not a question. All right, let's see. We're going to the Discord. Remember, if you have any questions you want to ask to everyone, go to the Discord and you can put it in the live stream questions channel. Are you guys getting the new booster for COVID?
Got it last week.
I'm getting it this week.
I have to wait 3 months for my infection before I can get it. So I'll get it when I'm able.
Is it available for everybody, I guess? Or is it
I think
I'm not sure about how young they go, but yeah, for all adults. I'm not sure if it's available for kids yet.
Under 12, there may be a restriction on that.
Yeah,
5, 12, I can't remember. Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for a question to come in, anybody
here it is.
No, go ahead, Jay.
I just wanted to talk about you for a second, Ian.
No.
If you're going to buy our book, please do it now. Please
do it now, right now,
because that helps us get on bestseller lists, and which could be remarkably helpful to future sales. So please do that. I mean, the book is fantastic. It's very easy for me to say that, but
I must say,
I must say.
But it's you can get a signed copy. You can order signed copies right now, and of course, if you just get a regular copy, if at any time you're in the same city that we are, we will sign the book for you. Personalize it, sign it, stamp it, do whatever you want.
One
Rub it on
question they were
ourselves.
asking about signed copies for overseas, UK and Australia. Presumably that's not.
Yeah. I don't know. So I think we have a link for overseas ordering with signed, right, Jay? It's all there. If you go to, if you go to, our website and then you click through, our books and you click on the Skeptic's Guide to the Future, it takes you like pre-order now, and then you'll see all the links are there, right? To where
If you're in the UK, just go
buy.
to your version of Amazon. Amazon.uk.co is it? I don't remember.
That's for the book itself, but I don't know about the signed one.
The signed are only through certain sellers, so
Right.
they may not be international.
Yeah.
But let's see. If you can, I know the Barnes and Noble, I think, is doing the pre-signed.
The shipping cost should not be bad in the UK because
there's a UK distributor.
There's a UK distributor, so you're not really paying. And by the way, I got our first shipment of books today.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you got yours? I haven't even checked. I might have.
No. I got. Well, yeah, I did. I got all of the books the extras that we ordered.
Oh, the extras,
for patrons and whatnot.
No shit.
Yeah. So now the three of us have to get together and sign those books as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kelly is going to ship them.
Yeah, RJ Julia is definitely one. We're actually, they're close to us. We're going to go there and physically sign how many books they have there. Yeah.
So a couple questions. What factors explain why some people hang on to COVID for weeks while others get over it in days if both are fully vaccinated and boosted?
Genetics.
Exposure. Genetics.
It's mostly genetics. So, everyone's receptors are a little different. Mm-hmm. And so it's a part of it is a matchup between the particular strain of the virus and the particular version of the relevant receptors that the virus attaches to get into your cells. And then the other variability is your immune system, like how good is your immune system at fighting off that particular virus? How good is that virus at evading your particular immune system? So those are the big variables that matter. So it's basically the genetics of the virus and your genetics.
Okay, so any thoughts on the recent news about this study from Wake Forest University School of Medicine, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, lead researcher Laura Baker? Okay, they're calling you out. Indicating a daily multivitamin might help keep your brain free from any decline in thinking skills, the new study suggests.
I read that.
No thoughts whatsoever.
Yeah, I haven't done a deep dive on that. I haven't read the original study. I saw that, the brief write-up of it.
Multivitamin?
So I don't know. I mean, it depends on. There's so many details that I'm thinking about. I'm interested in that. That will depend on how the study was done. So we'll talk about it maybe on the show next week or something. But I haven't looked at it. I've done a deep dive, so I can't say anything.
I'm gonna have to go very soon, guys, because I could hear my children starting to denature downstairs.
They
were quiet for a full hour. I had a full
meltdown
hour
in progress. Yeah.
More than an hour. Yeah, when I hear my daughter start high-pitched screaming, there's a
the siren
actually bad happened. Yeah.
So here's a merged question between two people. AQ6, are you going to do For All Mankind and the show Dark? The German show Dark?
Definitely going to do For All Mankind. Didn't we talk about that already?
No, we didn't.
Maybe earlier seasons. We definitely need to do that. I've seen the first season of Dark. I don't know if either of you guys have.
Dark.
So I don't know if we're going to review that. It's like Norwegian or something, right? It's okay.
I think it's German. Maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those like Norwegian, Dutch, or whatever. One of those. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think one of the upcoming episodes we're going to be recording. We're going to do a compare and contrast between House of Dragon and Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Yes.
That'll be one episode.
Cool.
And then we're going to do She-Hulk, right, Bob? Bob wants to do She-Hulk.
Fun.
And then something else. We'll take recommendations. Maybe we'll do For All Mankind. Are you guys caught up?
No.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get caught up.
I'm so compromised. I mean, it's like
I know.
Like I said,
Just watch it while you're sleeping.
Yeah, no, we have to plan what we have time to watch. You know,
I'll tell you what, sleeping robs us of 1/3 of our life, doesn't it,
It
Bob?
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
like
sucks.
suckers.
How come we
So
can't?
much
How come we
involved.
can't engineer our way out of that? Right, the
Because
necessity
if
of sleep.
Because
No, that's-
humans need it.
Yeah, we need it. Yeah, I don't think unless we do a major platform change, I don't think we're going to be ridding ourselves of
I think
sleep
we
anytime
Need
soon.
a whole new operating system. Is that what we
Yeah.
need?
I think
Mhm.
I think what we'll
Windows
see
Update.
first, though, and it could take a while, would be just to compress it so that maybe 2 hours a night, 2 or 3.
That would be nice.
Gets
there
you
are some
everything your
people
brain
now-
needs. No.
There are some people right now that just because of a genetic,
I
quirk,
hate them.
they can get like
Freaks.
5 hours, 6
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
even maybe
I would
less.
think 4 would be perfect. Imagine if you just get, you sleep from midnight to 4 a.m. You get up at 4 a.m., do your stuff, and you have like 3 hours to do whatever you want.
It'd be
Oh my
great.
gosh.
Extra stuff.
Get you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh damn.
We are running on old models, old technology.
Oh,
when it comes
yes.
to sleep.
Old tech, yeah.
Yeah, we'll spend trillions of dollars building things that kill people, right?
Mhm.
Humanity easily.
Well,
yeah,
then-
happily.
Yeah.
It's
Happily.
much easier.
That's 100% sleep at that point.
Guys,
So-
I gotta go. I'm hearing screams.
All right, bye,
Okay.
Jay.
All right, Jay.
Bye-bye. Well, hold on. Before you say
Wait.
BVZ was supposed to be tonight, obviously it's not, but we're moving
Oh.
it to October. Everybody, in case they're
October or
wondering.
Rocktober.
or Rocktober. That's right.
On-
That's-
All right,
that's
are we
it.
going to call it then?
So,
Evan
Is that
and
it?
Steve.
We're going to shut the whole thing down?
I'm starving.
Evan and
I
Steve,
have
let
to
me
feed my
know.
pets.
Drunken
Let me
noodles.
know if you're going to come
Yes,
tomorrow.
yes.
Tonight,
I'll
let me
send-
know.
I'll send you a, one of
Gotta
these,
wait for the
anybody
boss
else
to
in the
get
one
chat?
of these
too.
newfangled text things the kids are all raging about.
Thank you. Bye,
Remember
boys.
next
All right,
Saturday.
goodbye,
next
everyone.
Saturday, the 24th.
Okay,
Happy
then that's that.
weekend.
6-hour show. Goodbye.
Fare thee well.
Skeptics Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
Red alert. Bob is still here, and he didn't shut off his camera.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if he'll come back.
Should we
and-
wait? Should we?
That is interesting.
Should we wait, or should I kick him? I saw him.
I don't
take
know.
a phone call.
What do you think, Ian? What do you think?
I just don't want him to walk in front without any pants on. So
Oh gosh, well there is that. All right,
I'm gonna kick
you
him.
better boot him. That's
He almost
very,
made it. He almost made it.
magnanimous of you.
He almost figured it out.
He almost got in on
I kicked
our
him.
secret.
I
Well,
kicked
even though Jay's not here, I'm going to continue the tradition of the post-stream show, post-extreme event. It's just me and it's Ian. It's just the two of us. Ian, would you like me to interview you, or do you want to interview me?
Yeah. How's your Friday?
Oh, my Friday, my gosh. I woke up and I started to think about my day. Oh, wait, actually, we
Okay.
covered that earlier in the show.
Yep.
So it's not
Sure.
new material.
Mhm.
I never answered Jay's question as to what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Obviously,
Oh,
we
yes.
did talk about possibly gaming tomorrow, but I don't
Mhm.
know if that's going to be happening. I was supposed to work. But on
Mhm.
Sunday,
Mhm.
I'm going to a concert, to a
Ooh.
metal concert, a
What, bro?
hard metal concert. Obviously, Rachel is taking me.
Mm-hmm.
Going to New Haven, and we're seeing a
Mhm.
group called Kublai Khan.
Kublai Khan.
Kublai Khan.
Or Kublai
Now
Khan.
we've seen this group before, one time, and they are they knock people around. that crowd is a tough crowd. That is a rowdy, expressive crowd, as we like to say. And we're seeing it at a very small venue, a place we've actually never been before in New Haven. But if I think, with the area and the kind of places, I mean, this would be like somebody's basement, essentially. that you're going to have this show in, that they're going to
Nice.
cram 150 people into a kind of a tight quarter room is going to be my guess
Dope.
for a show that's going to knock people around. So I'm probably going to stay to the back for that one because, my days of getting knocked around or my martial arts training and all
Just
that
what
stuff.
you want. Get smushed into concrete. Cool.
Yeah, basement shows are very cool. I do like them, and there are a couple places that we do go on a regular basis in which the artists will play purposefully these very small, intimate kinds of places in which basically, the stage is right there. I mean, there's like nothing. There's no barrier. There's nothing. There's just, they're up on a riser and the floor, and that's it. And modest sound system, modest lighting and stuff. Great stuff, and Rachel so enjoys it. To watch her enjoy it is my thrill, even if I don't always get the music and stuff. Although I'm kind of getting into the genre and learning more about it, and there are some things I do like, and some artists that I have come to like as a result. So that's what I'm doing on Sunday. Cool. The other thing I'm doing is, and I haven't told anybody this, but I'll tell you, Ian, and the audience.
Exclusive. Oh, yeah.
I started to explore my property. So what I mean by that is I own about my house sits on 1 acre land, parcel of land, in which about half of it is cleared, with the structure of the house, the driveway, yard, and all the typical kind of stuff, backyard.
Sure.
But the other half acre is all forest, and I mean some pretty dense forest. So I have no reason to kind of go out there. But I've started kind of making my own path to my far ends, my far corner of the property. So I'm in the process of, when the weather's nice enough and I have a couple hours, which lately hasn't been because I've been so busy at work, but chipping away at it, I'm trying to find my property boundaries. There are stone markers out there, I'm told, and I'm on an adventure to go find them. And
nice.
So a little exploring in my own backyard, literally. It's not just an expression. I'll be doing that a little bit this weekend as well. So that answers Jay's question.
And the doubloons.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to dig up the satchel with the gold and have the whole, quandary over what I'm going to do with it when I find my millions of dollars worth of buried gold on my property. Sure. That always happens,
As you do.
Oh, thanks. I'm such a good dad, apparently. I really appreciate that. It's what Rachel loves to do, and she likes me being there with her doing it. And we enjoy it. We've had some great times. It's wonderful. So yeah, very, very much love spending quality time with Rachel as much as I possibly can. Rachel will be joining us on the trip to Arizona. So anyone coming to the Arizona shows will also have a chance. Special bonus, you get to interact with Rachel while you are there as well.
Bonus Rachel.
We'll be putting her to work, right, Ian?
Oh yeah, of course, as we do, because child labor is not illegal, is it? Not when it comes to SGU.
No, never. We're totally compliant in all of our laws
in all 52 states.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, what else? Anything else?
That's it.
Ian?
Well, check us out for the 6-hour live stream.
Yeah, the 6-hour live.
12 p.m. Eastern daylight.
Saturday, September 24th. It will also mark, by the way, the 11-year anniversary of our 24-hour live stream, which also took place between September 23rd, 24th of the year 2011. So it's a coincidence, frankly, that it actually happened that one day was available for all of us to do this. And I like reminding people about
one day the 24-hour will return one day.
Yeah, 24-hour. We should do it again. We really should. What do you think, Ian? Could you do it?
There is a goal. No, that was before my time. I think there was a goal still that we can hit.
It's a stretch goal, right? Based on our
it's a stretch.
Patreon membership numbers.
If there are people still on the legacy membership, consider jumping over to that. I think it's the 5,500, so we're at 4,700.
Okay.
Right, so right. I mean, it's a big jump, but we'll see.
We will see.
6 hours about it.
6 hours. I don't know. maybe sounds like a long time. It's not. It's gonna fly. We're gonna prepare much more material than we'll ever be able to present. I still have material from the 12-hour show. Do you remember that from a couple years ago? We did the 12-hour show. I didn't get to half the material I prepared for that. And I prepared actually a long segment about a 15-minute presentation on a. I'm going to save it for another time, but a topic in skeptic history, which I will one day present, and it's still ready to fire. I put a lot of work into that one actually, and never got to it. So, but that's typical of what we do. We over prepare. We're never short on material ever, and we're going to get 2 podcasts out of it as well. Obviously, we'll be promoting the book coming up because that will be the entire theme of the weekend. So it's it's all about getting this book promoted as well and as wide as we can with your help. So anything you can do to help with that, tell friends, family, buy 2 copies, buy 3 copies. Christmas is coming up. It's gift time. They make perfect gifts. And also don't forget, we also have the original Skeptics Guide to the Universe book. You can buy people sets of books, you can give them the whole catalog as far as I'm concerned.
Level your house with them.
What date and more importantly, what time did we say? The 6-hour show? Let's
12
repeat
p.m.
it again.
Eastern Daylight time zone, which we're in, I think now. I can't remember.
Saturday, September 24th.
That's right. It's
12 o'clock on the East Coast of the United States of America. That's what you need
8 days
to know.
away. And there is a link. It's save the date on YouTube, so you can go ahead and
someone wants me to put on the pith helmet.
I know.
I usually only do this for Which Game First, a board game podcast, in which I am one of the co-hosts.
Which Game First?
I am now a game explorer. See. So
games.
yes, the pith helmet I do wear.
Plus
I know people
hat.
say it's pithy and ha, but no, that's what we are. We are game explorers. We go, we find the games, we play the games, we review the games, and we tell you all about what we have explored. And some of my fun stuff, and before we go, a shameless promotion for Which Game First, a board game podcast. Please check us out. We're at all your pod catchers and everywhere else you get your podcast. We're right up there with everyone else. We also have a patron account, $3 a month. That's what we ask for our patrons. It's it's one level, and you get a special podcast for that for patrons only called Bonus Points. But I am going to be making an appearance with the Which Game First team. We are doing live podcast at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia in December. So that's December 2nd through the 4th. I am going to be there with my team. The host of the show is Celeste DeAngelis. Celeste DeAngelis is the sister of Perry DeAngelis, who used to obviously be also a co-host of the Skeptics Guide to the Universe. So worlds collide when it comes to Which Game First and the Skeptics Guide to the Universe, keeping it all in the family. Ed Povolitis and Mike Grenier are my other 2 co-hosts, and we have a great time. A lot of fun reviewing all those wonderful board games from current, sometimes the future, pre-released copies, and certainly the past, which is where we do a lot of our exploring. So I think on that note, Ian,
they have future games.
We do. We get sent games from publishers to review before they come out,
cool.
or copies that are on Kickstarter that get passed around the game review community, and we got our hands on those. So yes, sometimes we do review games from the future.
Well, I posted the link in chat, everybody, so go ahead and check them out.
Much appreciated.
And with that, I think we're to do.
I tip my hat to you all, fellow explorers. Have a great weekend. Be safe. See you.
Toodles. Bye-bye. We're going to leave Evan on.